Okay, welcome to part 2 of BioGuy's review of the Sangean CL-100 desktop weather alert radio with same technology, AM/FM clock radio. This is a great little unit. Please make sure you listen to part 1 of my review first, the unboxing and the specifications of the radio itself. I'm just going to show you a few of the features, and then we're going to have to go back outside where it's noisy to do some testing because I live in a house with a metal roof and I get no reception inside. I have to have an external antenna hooked up in order to be able to use things like this inside. So the first thing I noticed that's pretty cool, I'm going to zoom in here. If you look on the upper left side of the screen, you see VDC, and it shows a little plug symbol. If I unplug the unit back here, you notice that it goes over to battery power. Now, it shut itself down and when it actually went into standby mode to save power, but it did go to battery power. I wasn't listening to anything, and if I wanted to receive a weather alert, it would have continued to give me a weather alert even on standby. So you can see here that it definitely has a little battery display. I think that's really cool that it goes in and out. So you'll see it change back as I plug it in here. So now we're back to direct current voltage. So I think that's pretty neat. You can push, right now we're in FM mode. You can see we're in FM mode right here. If I push the band button, we go into AM mode. Band button again goes into auxiliary mode. Let me get this cord out from underneath it so it quits vibrating there. Auxiliary mode is where I can plug in an iPhone or something like that to listen to it. Why don't we actually do that real quick? Let's plug the iPhone in and listen to some tunes and see how it sounds. Okay, so you can see here we've got the iPhone plugged into the back of the Sangean CL-100 into the auxiliary import. I simply used a cable for my Bose headphones that goes, basically it's just an extension cable that goes from headphone jack to headphone jack. So we put it on auxiliary, and we're going to go ahead and press play here.
The puddle right next to my foot starts to bubble.
The volume's all the way up, but you actually control the volume with the output device.
This is a sign.
So I can slide that volume up and down on the iPhone and change the volume of the device. But you kind of want to have it set about 75% so you don't get distortion.
And he goes to step on the puddle.
So it's actually not bad sound quality coming from the output jack. Let me see if I have something that's not copyrighted. I don't want to put any copyrighted music on here and infringe on someone's copyrights. I probably don't have anything that's not copyrighted off the top of my head, so I'm not going to play any music through here at the risk of getting in trouble for that. So, but take it from me, the sound quality is pretty good if you're listening to a song, so it's not too bad. Anyways, let's move on to the next portion here. I think what we'll do is that's probably from my Bose headphone jack. The other headphone jack I was using did not do that little distortion sound. So we'll move on to the next portion of the review here. Okay, for this next portion of the test, I want to demonstrate the siren capability. This is the siren that's going to go off to alert you that there's been some sort of advisory for your area. So let's go ahead and go in here to the Siren Test. I've set the siren level at low, so this is the lowest volume setting for the siren. So we'll go here to Siren Test. It starts at stop, so I'm going to go through advisory and then watch and warning, and you'll see the little lights come on as I do that. So you can see the little lights work great. Yellow, green, let's see. Yellow, orange, and red. Yellow, orange, and red. I don't know if you could hear me through that. And even at the lowest siren level, that's going to be enough to wake you up in the middle of the night or alert you if you're in another room of your house, at least in my house. Okay, what I thought we'd do now is just kind of take a look at the menu and go through the menu and see how easy it is to use. So we'll press menu. You can see the first thing here is alarm 1. The first thing that shows up is alarm 1, and then, oops. And then if I selected that time, date, station, and volume, if you're going to use like a radio station or the buzzer level. There's alarm too. There's the clock settings. If I go into the clock settings, I can do a manual or an automatic. That means that if I'm listening to an RBDS station, it will automatically set my time. There's a tone. The tone is to set your bass and your treble levels. So I can set my bass and my treble levels there. The siren level, which again I put at low. The alert mode, this is going to let you choose voice or siren. So I chose siren here. The defeat siren, what the defeat siren does is turn off alerts for certain things. So if you live in an area where you don't get earthquakes, you can turn off earthquake alert. Add alerts, so I can add alerts maybe if NOAA comes out with more alerts in the future. County code, this is where I would enter my same 6-digit county code. Weather channel, this is where you change between channel 1 through 7 on the weather channels. Backlight, you can set your contrast and brightness there. Actually, I take that back. Backlight is so that I can change the length of time the backlight stays lit when I'm done pushing buttons. Contrast sets your contrast levels. Siren Test, that's what we just did, and then I can load my defaults, and I can look at the system version. This one happens to be, version 1.11 from June 24, 2010. So that's what our menus look like. They're pretty easy to use, pretty intuitive, and this rocker button is pretty cool. I like it a lot. Okay, so I want to do a comparison here real quick of the Grundig Sattelit Millennium 800, which is a huge radio. It's got like a 5-foot long telescoping antenna on it. I do have an external antenna for it too, but we're going to use the telescoping antenna on this because it's pretty hefty. And the little CL-100 we've been reviewing with the telescoping antenna out, and we've got the FM external antenna hooked up as well. So it's on battery power. So we're going to compare it to the Grundig, which is on DC power. So first let's take a look at the Grundig here.
NPR.org, and you can send us your comments at our website. That's at npr.org. Click on Talk of the Nation. Later in the hour,
I'm on the local NPR station.
But first, contingency plans for disaster, and we begin with the medical aspects. Sherry Fink.
We're going to continue on with a band that'll be in town for the KUT showcase
also got the next
on Friday night at Momo's.
So let's take a
North
look
Mississippi
at what
All-Stars.
the little CL-100 picks up here.
Of course, are where most Americans would turn if they were victims in a
Picking up
massive
the
disaster.
89.1.
If a disaster on the scale we've seen in Japan, where it hit somewhere in the country.
We found 90.5 on its own. And 91.5.
Sample with me the words of a good friend of Charles Spurgeon. It's from a book called The Lord My Portion, Daily Need, Divinely Supplied, by Octavius Philip. Too many times we just want to open an escape valve, or we want a few simple action steps to get on with our lives when an earthquake.
Now, one thing I'm interested in is the time setting function on whether or not this will go ahead and set its own time. Right now it thinks it's January 1st and that the time is 12:45 p.m. So let's see if our local NPR station broadcasts RBDS. Okay, this one's saying it has RBDS, and it actually shows the band and the song name here. So it says The Clash, Should I Stay or Should I Go? Let's go ahead and see if this will give us the time. Okay, so I set automatic to on and chose the station, and I'm going to choose for it to set the time here. Oh, okay, there it goes. It just set the date and time on its own. March 15th, Tuesday, 1 o'clock p.m. So, and it's still telling me the information on the station. It's actually saying Facebook right now, so it even is doing the advertisements that the station's put on there. Let's check out the weather. So the weather seems to do better without the external antenna. It's picking it up fine with the little telescoping antenna.
It was sunny. The temperature was 67.
Probably has to do with the fact that the little gazebo I'm putting the antenna under has a metal roof.
Variable at 7 miles an hour, and the pressure
And it's saying no advisory along the bottom of the screen, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think this is a neat little machine. It's doing a good job. Let's continue the review inside. Okay, so continuing with my review of the CL-100. This is a great radio. I really like it. Obviously, I haven't used it for longer than an hour here, but so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to follow up with a review part 3, which will include information that I've learned and things I've learned about it after using it for like a month or so. So look forward to that, and thank you for listening to this video. Let me know what you think of the review.